Hey everyone, it's Elizabeth here from Our Darling Memories, and welcome to my 4th edition of Photoshop Friday. So for this week's Photoshop Friday tutorial, I am going to be showing you how to customize your printables. Alright, so this actually comes from a viewer question, and she asked how I got from this PDF file. Let me see where this is here. This is an Illustrated Faith Beloved Society girl. Let me see which one this is here. This one. Alright, so this one is called Twinkle Lights, and this is their one of their Christmas Beloved Society devotionals, and these are little devotional girls, and I really loved these girls. They're just very beautiful, and I wanted to incorporate them into my one little word. And she was asking how I went from this big old PDF to this this girl. So I'm going to show you how I did that. And first of all, I'm going to tell you that this is strictly for personal use. Just because you are doing some edits to an image and making it your own doesn't mean that you can sell it or give it away or anything like that. This is strictly for your own personal use, your own scrapbooks, your own planners, nothing that you would give to another person or have someone buy from you. So this is only for personal use. Please don't use this tutorial to steal other people's artwork. That is very wrong, and it also is against the law, so don't do it. So with that being said, I'm going to show you how I do this. Now, as you can see, this girl does not have any of the hymn behind her, as you can see. She just has a white background, and she actually doesn't even have the same pattern in her dress that this one does have. And I'm not going to show you how to do that because that's kind of a little bit more complicated, and I just want a really simple tutorial for you guys today. But I'm going to show you how to customize these printables and only print what you want to from a PDF printable. So let's just say that I only want to have this girl and this circle that says Wise Men Seek Him. Now, as I said, this is their Christmas devotional collection, so it's very Christmas themed, but I wanted to use the same girl that I did for my March One Little Word, since that was what the question was about. So I'm going to show you how to do this. Alright, so the first one I'm going to show you is the really simple way. So you go over here to your left toolbar, and you can hover over your icons to get this little box that kind of tells you a little bit about them. And you're going to hover on the one that says Rectangular Marquee Tool. And that's pretty much just a row of little dotted lines. So you're going to click on that, and then you're going to go over here, and I'm going to use this because this works perfectly for my example, and I'm just going to make a rectangle around this hand-drawn circle, making sure that everything that I want to include is within that rectangle. So I want to include the spruce, I want to include all of the lines. So now that I have everything enclosed in this running dotted line, I'm going to make sure that I am clicking somewhere inside of the dotted line, and I'm going to right click. And when I right click, this menu comes up, and I'm going to click Layer via Copy. Alright, so as you can see, there's a new layer here, and if I was going to hide this background layer, you can see exactly what I wanted copied is on this new layer. So I'm going to make sure that the layer 1 is highlighted, and then I'm going to go over here, File, New, and you can do this, you can make the canvas any size you want. For my purposes, I'm just going to make it 8.5 by 11, just so that's simple, and it's just the canvas that you would normally print on. I'm going to go back to my PDF. I'm going to make sure that the layer 1 is selected, and then I'm just going to use my Move tool and drag it over to this new canvas and then drop it. So as you can see, it's the same exact size as it was on here. If I change that to the same one, you can see it's the same exact size as the original because I dragged and dropped. So that's one way you can do it. That works perfectly. That would actually work perfectly with pretty much all of these because they have a white background, which is what you're printing on. And they all have a really good shape for a rectangle. But let's say that I wanted to copy this girl, but I didn't want to copy the him. So I want to do exactly what I did here, which is put her on a white background and not have the him around her because, you know, I want this to be a March title page, and the him is very Christmas. It's the first Noel, so it's very Christmassy. So how I'm going to do that is not by the rectangular marquee tool, because if I did that, I would still have all of this side. And honestly, you could do it that way, but for me, it's just more simple to do it the way that I'm going to show you, and that is by using the lasso tool. So as you can see right here, the lasso tool is an L, and it makes freehand selection. So in other words, instead of being a rectangle, your dotted line is going to be however you draw it. So what I'm going to do is just click that and my little lasso tool pops up, and I'm going to zoom in here so that I can better see what I'm doing. Zoom in, not out. So here I am. I have this girl. This is fairly zoomed in, and I'm just going to trace around her. So it doesn't have to be perfectly close, like it doesn't have to be super close around her. But I do like to do most of my trimming on here because I feel like there is less room to mess up. So I'm just going to go around this girl using my lasso tool. And how I do that is you just click on the button and you don't let go until you're done tracing her. And then when you reach the end of the line or the beginning of the line that you made, you just lift up on your cursor. And as you can see, I have a little running ant line all the way around my girl that I just made. So again, I'm going to make sure that I'm clicking somewhere within that dotted line, and I'm going to right click and say layer via copy. And as you can see, I selected the wrong layer. So I am on this layer. Right here, I'm on the layer that I created. So I make sure that I'm clicked on the background layer because that is where she is, on the background layer, and then I try this again. And that will happen to you even if you're very comfortable with Photoshop. That will happen to you from time to time. And make sure that you have the background layer selected and go layer via copy. And here she is. There we go. Now, if I take out all of my other layers, this is what you see. And as you can see, I do have a little bit of the hem around her. Whoops. And as you can see, I do have a little bit of the hem around her, but it's nothing like this. And it's nothing like what I would have had if I would have just used a rectangular marquee tool. So what I'm going to do, make sure my layer that my girl is on is selected. I'm going to press the move tool, and then I'm just going to drag and drop my girl onto this new canvas. So there you go. That's how you would create your own customizable printable. I like to do this if there's multiple printables that I want to use something from, but I don't necessarily want to use everything that's on that page. Like, for instance, this girl is also not that Christmassy, and I could probably use her in something else. But if I was going to print this entire page, I would also be printing this, which is very Christmassy. This, which is very Christmassy because it has, you know, the holly and everything like that. And then the devotional, which maybe I've already printed out the devotional and I don't want to print it out again and waste more ink. So I do this a lot if I have multiple printables that I want to combine. And that was the wrong thing. So I do this a lot when I have multiple printables that I want to combine. Let's say that I want to grab a girl from here, and this time, just to make it short and sweet, I'm just going to use my rectangular marquee tool, and I'm going to follow the same exact steps. I'm going to make a rectangle around this girl, right click within that running dotted line, and then say layer via copy. Make sure my layer is selected, click my move tool, and then just move my girl on over to my blank canvas. And you can do this with as many images that are on your printable as you want. You can also take different areas from every printable that you have. I could literally take things from 5 different printables that I have and put them on one page by doing this. So as you saw, we can either use the rectangular marquee tool, which will do a good rectangle around the object that we want to add to our canvas, or if you want to get a little bit more specific, you can use the lasso tool, and then you can make a freehand line and shape around your image. So as I said before, this is strictly for personal use only. I would not be able to redistribute this page because it's pulled from different printables. This is still the property of Illustrated Faith and the Beloved Society, so make sure that you're keeping that in mind and you're only using this for your own personal use. So if you have any questions about this process, please feel free to comment down below. I would love to try to answer your questions as best as I can. And if you have any other topics that you would like to see me cover for Photoshop Friday, please leave them down below as well. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and please subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. I post Photoshop Fridays every other week, as well as process videos for Project Life, One Little Word, and story albums. So thanks so much and have a great day. Bye.